Hello, botany class. My name is Josh Amick, and for my final project, I did my study on the Pacific crabapple that is native to North America, along with California, Oregon, and some parts of Alaska. It is believed to be native to our lands. However, all crabapples are believed to originate in the mountains of Kazakhstan, but this is specific to our lands. So that's what I did. And for my project, I went and foraged crab apples myself. And to save some time for the final presentation, I put them in my helpful Ninja blender and chopped up everything except for the stems. And then I used that to sit in a mason jar with a warm water and sugar. And according to the recipe that I found, I did one control group where I had the apples weighted down, which is this one. It's kind of falling apart because we're at the end of the project here. I wanted you guys to see what my reaction is to tasting it on site. But I had the shot glass weighing it down, so the apples were submerged in the water most of the time as I checked on it every day. I've been having them sit for about 6 days now. And this is my second control group since I had plenty of apples, and I just let these ones float freely and let them do what they will. And then I'm going to test them because crab apples are believed to be pretty tart. So it said on the recipe it could be 4 to 5 days or it could be 2 weeks. I did 6 days, so we'll see how tart it is. Hopefully it's more sweet because I am not a fan of tart, and you will see that reaction. All right, so a little background on the crab apple. I'm reading from my phone, so excuse this, but it is a deciduous plant, often a small shrub or a tree. The common names are the Western crabapple, Pacific crabapple, and Oregon crabapple. That's all based off of where they are from. And the scientific name for this is Malus fusca, and I don't know if I'm saying that right, but oddly enough, this is actually part of the Rosaceae family. The physical description of this: it's a small tree or shrub that grows 2 to 12 meters, depends on the area. And the branches are sharp thorn-like shoots with the flowers, and the flowers are what are identified as the actual crab apples. Those blossom into little small apples. They're white, light pink, and appear in bright, flagrant clusters of 5 to 12 flowers at the end of those branches. Like I said, it is native to this area, but believed to have started crabapple trees have believed to start in the mountains of Kazakhstan, but they're popular here specifically in the Cascade Mountains. It was used a lot for the native species in the wilder shorelines along Duck Bay and Foster Island. And they were usually eaten raw. These apples were eaten raw. That was the most popular use. But the bark actually has a lot of medicinal benefits for digestive orders, and it was used to treat some wounds. So it was a very popular plant to be used. Also, some nutritional value about these apples is they do contain 1.2 grams of protein, along with 17 grams of carbohydrates. It also includes some B1 and B2 vitamins. So even though the apples are pretty small in size, they do have a lot of nutritional value, and the bark, I said, is medicinally used. So it was a popular plant in earlier times. The reason why this plant had a cultural impact in this area is because the crab apples flourish in adapting to the poor conditions here in Washington and along the Northwest. It adapts well to cold and moist climates. So obviously, growing up in the Northwest, you know that is important, that a tree can flourish in those type of environments of it being both cold and rainy a lot. So that was why it was so popular. The First Nation people use this plant for different uses, including tools and food. And currently, the Pacific crabapple is not considered in jeopardy as species destruction of plants or habitats. So it's generally given little regard to any official function. So the sustainability is pretty good still for the Pacific crabapple, even though it's been here for a long time. Its Pacific crabapple is actually an excellent stream bark and soil stabilizer. It's an important species to consider when dealing with stream conservation. So you see this plant a lot alongside riverbanks and other parts of waters. Where I got my crab apples was actually near a lake. So it is a very popular plant in those areas. So I believe that covers all the bases about the background and what I'm going to do. So right now I have my control group 1. I got my helpful strainer. I'm going to strain this into a bowl, and then I'm going to taste it and see if having the weight of the shot glass hold it down, if that provides any sort of difference in taste between my second control group. Like I said, they are pretty tart, so I wonder if the weight holding down the apples is going to allow it to be a little more sweet. So this is my first control group, and we'll see how it goes. Be right back. Alright, so after straining it, that is what is left over of my first control group, apple cider, with the weight of the shot glass weighing it down. So let's see how it tastes. It is pretty sweet. Wondering if I did something wrong because it tastes more like sugar than it does like apple. And that's why in the recipe that I followed, it says 4 to 5 days, or it could be up to 2 weeks. I did 6 days. Not sure if that is the good ballpark, or if I should let it wait longer, or if that would have just made it more sweet. I'm not sure, but it is pretty good taste. Not very much tartness to it at all. Alright, and now I'm going to try my second control group where I let the apples kind of just flow freely without the shot glass weighing them down, to see if there is a difference in taste between these. Okay, and this is my second control group. First off, after opening the mason jars, this did definitely have a stronger smell to it. So I think there was a difference in with the shot glass weighing them down, because this has a definitely more of a sour smell to it. I'm hoping it doesn't make me sick, but here's the second control group. This one is not as sweet. It definitely has more of an apple taste, which is odd. You would think with apples being submerged in the water and sugar longer that it would bring out more of those apple flavors. But this one actually has a stronger apple taste. So I don't think the weight glass really played much of a part in it, except for the fact that it did make the cider a lot sweeter. I prefer the second group, even though the smell is not desirable. It does have a little bit of a better apple taste to it, and doesn't taste so much just like apple water, or apple sugar water, I should say. So yeah, that's my final project. I had fun making it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you have any questions. Cheers. Thank you.